Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official Lotro Twitch stream. I'm Little Redhead and I'll be taking you around the 2021 Spring Festival one final time. It ends Monday is its final last full day. So this will be our last stream here in Heart of the Hobbit on the 2021 Spring Festival. So there are a lot of things you can do in Lord of the Rings Online. One of the things that I particularly enjoy are many of the things are the social parts. And so in my stream, that's where I like to specialize on things like festivals. So we are going to go in and do some festival today. So I thought what we'll do is there's some instances that are new to the festival this year. So we're going to go and take a look at some of those. And so I've actually logged on my highest level character so that we can actually get in there and do some of these things successfully. And then we're going to take a look at the items that are available for barter. So make sure you have an idea of what all is out there, and so you make sure you get it in these last few days. And then we're going to top off the end of the stream with some time at Hobnanigans, because Hobnanigans did start today, a few hours ago. So pretty fun to go and have some fun with that. And we'll teach you how to play Hobnanigans if you don't already know. And if you already know, then you can follow along at home. All right, so here we are. We are ready to talk to Sergeant Tom over there. I always feel like he's been demoted. He should be Major Tom, right? So we're going to go ahead and pick up our festival wrapper, Taste of Spring. That's the one where you want to do 10 events throughout the day, and that'll get you some spring leaves. All right, once I have that, actually I could go and do this other thing first, but I went ahead and grabbed that. And we're going to pop ourselves back over here to Bree and pick up the 1 hour pick up flowers quest, even though we're not going to pick up any flowers probably, but it gives us credit. So that's a good thing. We like to have credit for another festival event because I like getting those 10 out of the way. So my character here, I went ahead and there's a lot of fun things going on with the Spring Festival. Like there's some cool cosmetics of various types, but one of the things they've focused on this year is some of the Bjorning style stuff. So there's a lot of bees and honey themed things going on. We've talked a little bit about the goat that I'm riding here. I'll pause for a moment. You can get a good look at my goat. Take a look at that goat. Oh, let me move this out of the way. There you go. So you can see my goat, and he's a honey goat. Look at all this dripping honey just coming right off of him, and little barrels of honey on the side and our big one on the back. And then there's also the cloak. So I went ahead and got that. And then she's got her little bear helmet on, and we were wearing our beekeeper's robes. So we kind of doubled down on the bear theme with this character. It's maybe not the most attractive look, but it's, it's cute and it's in theme. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab our doo-wopper here. And that is our thing that asks us to go and collect as many flowers as we can within the hour. And that number might be 0, but that's okay. I do have the honey goat. Yes, I do. Thank you for noticing. I'm very happy to have that. I don't have it on all of my characters yet. But that is something that I do want to get at some point if I can. So hello everybody who's just joined us in the stream there. Thank you for joining us today. All right, so I think what we're going to do first is, I can't show you. Will you make me the leader, please? So this is how you can tell if you're the leader in your fellowship, because there's a little star on the person who is leader, and so now that's been transferred to me. It took me a while to figure out how to do this, but so if you are the leader and you want to change who's the leader in your fellowship, you can right click on your portrait and you click on fellowship there. It's just a dry hover over, and then you hover over here and you switch to and then you do that and you realize you did the wrong thing again, and then you hover over the person you want to make the leader, and you go to fellowship, and then you go to transfer leadership. So there's a little key if anybody hasn't figured that out yet. Now you know. Knowing is half the battle. All right, let me go into the instances. So we're going to go into our instance finder here. I'm going to go ahead and close all that. So under seasonal, there used to just be the 2 summer instances and the 2 Yule instances, so 6 months apart roughly. Now they have added 2 spring instances, which makes me think that Farmer's Fair might be getting some as well. But we're not there yet. We'll find out in like 6 months. So what they usually have is they'll have one instance that's open and available to lower level characters. So starting all the way as low as maybe level 10. I'm not sure how that works because I'm pretty sure you have to have gone through the skirmish training in order to do these. And I don't think you can do skirmish training at 10 unless there's some way you can buy it with Lotro points. So, but it does say level 10 through 130. So this one is open to most everybody, and it's cute. It's a lot less pressure, and so it doesn't feel. It feels a little more like a landscape adventure and less like you know, a rah raid. We got to get everything right. Now, if you do want the rah we got to get everything right, there's the harder one, and that is the boss from the vaults, where they take a piece of an instance, so the boss from an encounter that you have somewhere in the game, and then it's just that little piece of it. So you don't have to worry about clearing the rest of the dungeon to get there or anything like that. It's just you show up, there's the boss, there's you have your adventure. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and start with the boss from the vaults, and this is Naruhel the Red Maid. I think we're just going to do this one at level 50 to show it to you, the tier 1. So now the other thing that's different that's between these 2 different instances is you've got tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 for the, you know, raidy kind of style adventure. And if you're doing the more gentle and open to everybody one, that one is more based on what size of group do you want to do. And that one has, each of these has 3 different chests. So that's how you can get festivity tokens. So if you did this all 3 different ways and you did this all 3 different ways, you would actually get 15 plus 15. So you get 30 festivity tokens, which is actually quite a lot because your cap is 40. So that's one way you can get all these things. So anyway, we're going to start. So with Boss from the Vault, the Red Maid, it is a size 6. So it's a large fellowship no matter what tier you do. We're going to go ahead and start at level 50. So we can go ahead and just show you how this looks. Okay, so you've got your pop-up there, tells you what it is that you're going into. The Red Maid is lost, or so it seems, to the corruption wrought upon her land at the hands of corrupt men. Perhaps you can discover a method to undo the damage. So we'll go ahead and travel into there. Oh, let's see, I have a couple things going on in chat over here. I have the honey goat. That is true. It is beautiful. I think it's they've done some nice colors with that. You say, I'm not a huge mount collector. The one mount I want is an account-wide steed of the Warden, and I've never seen it in the store. Interesting. I don't know that mount. I'll have to look for it. Someone else says, greetings, this month we have 14th birthday with Lotro. I know, 14th anniversary. Lotro will be celebrating its 14th anniversary. That is exciting. And this UI skin looks cool. Thank you. I really enjoy. We're going to take a little side trip here for a second. I know, he's over there going, can we get going? We're going to pause for just a moment. In the options, in your UI settings, if you download some skins, you can adjust those, scrolling down to here under current user skin, and this is the JRR Spirit of Elfwood that I'm using. I really like a lot of the details it has. If you look at, say, the auction house, a lot of times they'll have some cool background stuff. This one has kind of a wood look to it. What are some other things? Let me think. The wardrobe different? Let's see. So there's a lot of really cool little touches. Yeah, like the backgrounds of things and the colors of things, and see how it kind of gradiates as you go down on this one. And then, of course, yeah, all the wonderful little vines and leaves as you go across there. I've been enjoying playing with the skins. There's a Hobbit one that when you're near Gandalf, or when you're in height, when you have a lot of hope, your thing just radiates with hope, and Gandalf's face kind of superimposes everything in your mini radar. It's really cute. Okay, Awesome. Just checking the chat, and it looks like everything is coming through well. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so so you kind of gather up here when you first come into the instance, which is really great because it gives you a chance to do the things like eat your foods, which you will need to do if you're doing a tier 3 raid, which I did not set up for today. It just occurs to me that I could have looked, but I don't know who's on. So, oh well. So I've eaten my food. The only thing that would be left would be Bjorn's honey cake. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and head up here to the door. So you can gather your group right here by the door, and that keeps it from starting. But once you pass over the threshold and start walking in, this door right here is gonna close. And anybody who's on the other side of it is left out of what's happening, out of the action. Okay, I see you sneaking. So sometimes what we do is we'll just go on follow with each other to make sure that way if one goes in, you all go in. All right, go ahead, I'll follow you. Charge, okay. Here we go. So this is the red maid that you might have run into if you're running around in the Lone Lands. Radagast sends you out and you end up running into her as part of that quest chain. So that's her there. She's got her guys over here on the side, her, put names back on, her disciples. Wow. She kicks you around. She can boot you up in the air. So she's got her disciples over on the edges. Yeah, let me start shooting here. So you'll notice that we have the ability to really do a lot of damage to her. But if her disciples get to the middle there, they will fall for her and give her full back health, which is really annoying because when she goes back up to full health and you've been working on her so hard, it's really annoying. But in this case, tier 1 is pretty easy. You notice we just did 2 of us, and this is a 6-person raid. So we should do that slower next time. Well, I was worried about the guys getting there. We could go to tier 2 and do it slower. So what happens then is, yeah, if they get to there, they're gonna give her health back. Then you gotta kind of start all over. But once they're all gone, then there's no more. Okay, so at the end of that, after she is defeated, you'll get a chest that pops up that's equivalent to the level of the tier you're doing. So this is a tier 1. So go ahead and open it. See if we get anything interesting. Nope. Sometimes she will drop some of her cosmetic outfits, items, and sometimes there's a cloak that drops. Now the cloak will be the level of whatever you just ran it. So in this case, it would have been a level 50 cloak. So it wouldn't have been useful for either of us. It has those slots, so you'll have to put essences in it. And I think it's might based. So it's not necessarily, useful for a hunter or a minstrel, but it's okay. All right, let me look at the chat, see if there's anything that I am missing. Cool, talking about different languages. That is awesome. Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands, as we've discussed previously, because I live in the Netherlands and I speak a teeny bit of Dutch. Someone mentions that tier 3 here is hard to solo even at level 50. They have tried many times. Yeah, we have had some fun with doing tier 3. We'll probably give it a try here in a minute though. Awesome. Let's see. So people are talking about VIP account. That is awesome. Very cool. Okay. So now the instance is done. We've picked up our chest. We're going to talk to her. She's going to give us 2 spring leaves. And this is where she's basically, has come out of the fog that she was in. So we're going to go ahead and finish that now. And we got our 2 spring leaves. So, my currency is capped. Okay, so I am full on festivity tokens. So before we do the next one, I need to go talk to Verbena Greenhand and go buy something. So we're going to do that. Now, there's no door in this instance, really, that seems to, we just do portrait exit. So you right click on your portrait and click leave instance, and that'll take you right on out. After you say yes. I always forget to say yes. And then I'm waiting there and waiting there. I'm like, why haven't I left yet? Oh, I didn't say yes. Someone said they had a hard time with this at level 50, had to buff up and slam with as much damage as I could. Yes, it's not an easy instance. It's not a walk in the park. We have some level 50 characters that we are playing in a group, and we went in as 5 of us, and we did tier 1, but tier 2, I think, was the one that just could not come together. And then we tried again another day with 6 of us, and we kind of had like a leader calling things out and showing us where battles were happening. Because we'll show you where that is. What was I going to go? Oh, I got to go talk to Verbena, though. I still have chat bubbles on. Maybe I should... Oh. All right, if you haven't seen it before, that's the dragon consumable that you can get from the festival. Here, do that again. I don't know how often, what's your cooldown on that. But let's see if we can get a broader view of it. Okay. I'll walk away from you slowly. You can... All right, here, we'll watch this again here. Let me get better position. Okay. Oh, no, okay, yeah, go ahead and do it. And it's, yeah, DRAGON that you can... Oh, you have to do it on somebody. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize it was a... Yeah, so it looks like you're hitting them with the dragon. Isn't that very silly? Very, very silly. Okay, I need to go to the festival grounds, so let me get back on my honey goat. Honey goat! And then we will run tier 2 of the Red Maid in a minute. So you can saw in tier 1, if you've got enough damage, you know, enough DPS going, you really can just burn her down really fast. Without having to worry about those guys, her assistants getting there and sacrificing themselves. Tier 2, it can go either way, but generally you do need to take out the disciples. They will probably get there before you have a chance to take her down. Okay, so I already have the honey goat, and unfortunately I can't buy one and trade it to another one of my characters. It is it is like auto-consumed, which is sad. So let me double check here. Actually, I could look at my handy dandy homemade spreadsheet where I keep track of which characters have what. So on this server, I have the vines and the crown and the shawl and the dress and the cloak already. So let me double check that. I'm going to assume my notes are correct. Helps if I spell her name correct. Yep. So we've got the vines, crown, shawl, dress. So I don't need those. We've got the honeycomb cloak. I'm obviously wearing it. So we're not going to buy that. I could get the hooded one. Not certain that I need to have the hooded one. The honey dripping down the head is kind of cute. But I think I'm going to stick with the regular one that I have. So I've bought the Great Lily. I bought both of those. The Lily is kind of small. It's a yard item. The Great Lily is big and chunky, and it looks really good. The other things, though, the Gammer's stuff is cute. So we bought some of that, and it's in our kin house. The hall bench, the armchair, the tea table, footstool, couch. I like the couch for tall visitors. That's pretty funny. Footstool, hall table, trinket stand. Man, I don't know. I think I'm just going to get another flower because we have a mead hall, and it's all set up for, like, it's very Bjorning friendly. And I think the Great Lilies are a good choice for the Bjornings. So, okay, so we have purchased stuff, and I'm no longer at cap. So I think we are ready to give a tier 2 a run. Yep. So you are the leader again, sweetie. I'm going to take a look at chat while that's getting started up. People are saying hi to each other. That's awesome. And hello from me. Um, people are talking about hot chocolate, hot cocoa. That sounds good. Spreadsheet. I do that too, and I have it up on a second monitor. I have really debated because I think, I probably should migrate this to an online spreadsheet because if you know me, I have so many spreadsheets online. I use Google Sheets constantly. I used to be an Excel nut, and now I've moved to Google Sheets. But I did this for a couple of festivals ago where I have it on paper, and there's just something so amazingly satisfying with checking it off with a pen. And I've got this nice hard stock paper, and yeah, eventually I'm going to move away from this because every festival I'm basically having to, one, recreate it, and two, check and see what I already have. And that's, the whole point of having it is that I don't have to go back and relook at the data. So I think I am going to have to migrate to online, and then I just, already have it pre-filled for previous festivals. I wish somebody already had one. I could just steal theirs and keep working on it. Okay, so, awesome. So Moobot has posted, Eldaleth told Moobot, said that we have another World Builder chat with Scenario coming up. The poll is open until April 6th, which is also the last day of the Spring Festival. And Scenario, I don't know if you've watched, but Scenario works for Standing Stone. He's one of the World Builders, and he's done a couple of streams where he'll take you around various areas. He took us through the Wildwood and took us through Angmar, 2 separate streams. So there's a poll up to figure out which, I'm guessing the poll is, where are we gonna go for the next stream? So that's exciting. That is very fun. That is fun. Cool. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat. Here we are, and let's see, I need more cooked food, and I need the Bjorning cakes. Okay, this is gonna be tier 2. I forgot to double check. I assume this is tier 2. And so we're gonna have to pay more attention to what we're doing. I got my stuff. All right, which stance am I in? I'm in endurance stance. I'm gonna switch over to precision to start so I can do more damage at the beginning. And then I'll switch over to endurance stance as she starts knocking me down a bit. All right, I'm gonna do my cooked food. Nom nom nom. And okay. I am following you and your large shrew, your Spitzmaus, and your roots. The roots are a thing you can buy in the new Wildwood area with some of their reputation tokens. Okay, so the door should be closing behind us. I'm going to throw a couple traps down, slow down these disciples, because the traps don't work on her. Just FYI, if you are going to try that, don't even bother. They don't work on her. But they do slow the disciples down. That gives me an extra minute. Oh, we're in combat. Oh, so the landscape version of this, you have a chest that you open to get you into this room, and it knocks you up in the air like that. So we think that's this knocking you up in the air was their version of doing that. There we go. Hang on, I gotta take out some disciples. Yeah. Oh, shoot slower. I could. All right, so now we also have, as you may have noticed, a blood water. These start to show up once you start taking out the disciples. Okay, notice I have a purple eye over me. That's because it is dropping poison. So where I was standing, or where I would have run to if I had moved, is a big puddle of poison, and it does nasty stuff to you. What do we got here? I've got a mortal wound. Okay, see, notice I'm going to... Oh, okay, we finished her off. But there was another area effect happening right where I was standing, and you notice I was losing health there. Okay, but we're okay. We survived that. I think we could do tier 3. I think we give it a go. What is that? You got a mushroom? Oh dear. All right, we're gonna open this chest. get some stuff. So you do get some drops in here of just landscape type stuff. Get my 2 festival leaves. Okay, so just to kind of recap what just happened here, because that went by kind of quickly, is so we've got this altar here. And then we've got 3 of her disciples over here and 3 of her disciples over here. And then she's up here in the middle. And you'll do some damage to her early on. And then she instructs her disciples to sacrifice themselves in order to give her more health. So they will start walking in a kind of a dazed state and ignore pretty much everything else going on and just try to make their way to the altar, at which point, if they make it far enough, then they will perish and her health jumps back up to the top. So we don't want that. And like I said, in tier 1, you can usually burn her down all the way before the disciples get there. In tier 2, the disciples will get there before you finish her off generally. So you have to take them out and then go back to her. But as you start taking out disciples, those red spirits starts coming in and they hit really hard. So yeah. You'll want to watch out for those. And in tier 3, generally you finish it, and then there's a couple of them that'll come running in from out here, the blood waters. And so you think, oh, everything's done. Phew, I just barely made it. I've got an inch, a sliver of health. And then they come in and whap you and you're down, which is really annoying. So, okay, but that was tier 2. I think we're good. Okay. Let's go and try tier 3. All right, I'm gonna click the wrong button again. There we go, leave instance on my portrait. Do you want to leave? Yes, I do. All right, let me look at chat, see if there's any questions. People are talking about where they want scenario to go. Evendim, Forchel, Evendim, Enedvase, Region. Lots of options there, yeah. Somebody mentioned the puddle poison. The puddle poison is pretty bad. It's pretty nasty. Okay, so tier 3. This puddle is rough. So let me pop in there. And let's see, okay. Boom, boom, I got the flower. I did get the flower. Dunland, some people like Dunland. I can see that. Nona, I do like Nona in Dunland. There's a lot of really cool things in Dunland. Also, Dunland has some of my favorite in like landscape cosmetics. They've got some really good stuff out there. There's a robe. I can't remember the name of it now. I wonder if I could figure it out. Well, anyway, we can look later. But there's a really good robe that comes from Dunland, and it's a great cosmetic to have. And the ranger outfits, somebody mentions the ranger outfits. Yeah, there's quests you can do to get the ranger outfits, and that's pretty neat. Okay, all right, so hang on just a second. Okie dokie. Somebody's talking about songs. All right, we are. Let me do trail food again real quick, just in case this takes longer than a minute. Okay, because I think it will. I expect that it will. All right, so tier 3. Things get whoopsie. Things get harder again. So you have to go even better at controlling the disciples, not standing in puddles. Okay. So I'm gonna stand back here so I can keep an eye on these guys. Oh, well, I'm just gonna stand right here because of those things. Okay, so we're gonna work on her. You know what? She has only 400,000 hit points. I think tier 3 is not as bad as I thought. So notice he hit me because I had a trap down on him. Whoa. So yeah, in the landscape version, when you go through the dungeon and you come and she's the last thing that you're doing, that's where you open that chest and it throws you up in the air, and then you're carrying the plate as you come in. That's, I think that was, because you didn't do that, you may have noticed that there was no plate out there to carry in, and that's probably why. So, now notice, see, I did a bunch of damage to her, so now she calls to them to come out. And now notice I'm dropping puddles, so I am doing damage. I'm getting damaged by standing where I'm standing because I just dropped it there. Now we've got a blood water, obnoxious things. And I'm going to endurance stance, which means my quick shot will heal me. Notice that's happening. Now all the disciples are gone, so she's not going to be able to heal herself off of them anymore, which is good. We had a blood water come in. My partner got that one. Cool. So you see all these little, and because there's only 2 of us, we actually did a little bit better, but there was some puddles over here of poison and some puddles over here of poison, because that's where she would hit us, and then we're just, so what you tend to do is you try to run to the wall, so you drop it as far away from the rest of your people as possible. And remember the surprise blood waters I mentioned. There they are. There we go. Ta-da. So that is tier 3. There's also, we must have picked it up. There's a festival quest going on where if you do tier 3, you have to do tier 3 at 130, which we did not do. Yeah, she hits much hard. She does hit much harder on tier 3. And if you do it at cap at 130, tier 3, there's a coin you can get, and you can collect those a number of days, and if you get so many of, I think it's 7. This one? I don't remember. But there's a special thing there for the 130s. Oh, here it is. Yep, seasonal. Get bloody coins, bloody gold coins from her. I've got 1 of 7 because we did a tier 3 at 130 the other day. They can be earned by defeating her once per day during the Spring Festival in this instance, but it can only be advanced on tier 3, and it can only be completed, this entire thing can only be completed once per festival. And then you get a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Now, we're not going to complete that because there are not 6 days left of festival, and we started this late because we just turned 130, so that was pretty exciting to us. And that chest that we opened is a lock. So if I go to my raid locks, the silver chest, the gold chest, the mithril chest, that's the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, I believe. So because we just did tier 3, we can't do another one today. Even if a 130 came up, I mean, we could go in, but the chest would be locked for us. I don't even think we can, I'm not sure if we can even go in. So that's okay. It's a new thing for us. We're very excited to be 130s on these characters. So, all right. So she says the same thing as before. She says, "My sisters are far from me. I cannot hear their songs or feel their gentle breath among the trees." She's one of Goldberry's sisters. So barren are those trees, nearly lifeless, choked out by roots, bloated with something that has a bitter taste of iron. Where are you, my sisters, and what is before me? I cannot see beyond the red of this land, but I sense something sweet among the bitter ferns and swollen roots. Are you real, or am I still imprisoned in the land? There is life in you, I feel this. There must be life somewhere in these lands. Perhaps I can find this life anew and nurture it back to health. So that's what we have done to help her out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this instance. Now, I do want to go through and show you the bee's big business, and we're going to do that close to level because I still have, I believe, 1 or 2 of the instance items to get, and that'll be a good chance to show you what all is in there. So let's see. Where is it? Is it under instances, or is it under? This one's in a place you don't expect it. Under skirmish. Here we are. Losanar pesky critters 5 of 6. Yeah, I still need the terrorizing toad. So I want to see if we can get that. And this will show you what it looks like to run bees on higher level than just if you run through it. Because what I've been doing with bees, okay, so like I mentioned, there's 3 different ways you can run bees. And you can run it at a solo, you can run it as a small fellowship, and you can run it as a large fellowship. So those are the 3 chests for that. And for each one of those, you can get the 5 festivity tokens and some spring leaves and whatnot. So, sweetie, you are the leader. Can you start us up on bees at like 125? Or do we want to do 130? We could do 130. There was a question in the chat about what server are we currently on. We are currently on Evernight. But we are going to switch over to probably, we're going to switch over to Laurelin before we get to Hobnanigans. So, yay. Okay, so Grimbjorn here, I think we came in and did bees another day. So you'll have your 3 quests. This one is your quest every time you come in, where he's agreed to lend his bees to pollinating the fields, and so he and the dogs are going to hang out here while we go escort the bees around. The collecting the flowers isn't optional. We'll go ahead and grab it because we'll probably grab flowers along the way, and that's where you come back and then you give some flowers to the dogs, and then this is your daily, and this will count toward the daily towards the 10 festival activities for that day. Okay. So we're ready to see if the bees are ready. Are you ready? Buzz, buzz. We'll take that as a yes. And then we're going to run after them. And there's some flowers all over the place. So I have a tendency to kind of wander off and grab the flowers and then kind of forget about the encounter. So I got to try and remember not to do that this time. It's really, really pretty in here. Yeah, somebody in chat is talking about some watercolor paints, and that makes me think of this area. This area, it reminds me a little bit of an impressionistic painting, impressionist, and I like that. So this is your chill, relaxing festival instance, except for the goats. So we gotta go defeat these goats and get them to stop chewing on the flowers. Oh, I don't want to be in that stance anymore. There we go. So we have a pack of goats that have descended upon the bees here. Well, they've run into each other, really. And so we're gonna get some goats, get them out of the way, send them along, tell them to go eat some different flowers. What are you doing? Oh. Minstrel yells louder than me. Oh, there's a flower back there I missed. Let me go back and grab that flower. Now this is a big loop. If you haven't done this festival instance yet, or if you haven't gotten lost, basically you start over there in behind all the reeds. You're going to go up this ramp, this slope here, and that takes you, and you're kind of going to curve off to the leftish, but then you go and you make a loop up there, you come all the way around, and then you find yourself coming back down this way. So we'll pause and look at the map from time to time so you can kind of see. But we're going to go up this way because the bees have already gone up this way, and we're going to pick some flowers. Now, one of the interesting things I've noticed with this festival is that the bees will get to where the goats are, and then they'll pause. And if you are not close to it, the bees and the goats just kind of stare at each other like nothing really happens. But eventually, when you get closer, it will activate the goats. They sense you on the wind. They smell you coming. So you'll notice the bees are the little eyeballs over here, and then the red dots are our goats. So they're right now just chilling out. Notice the goats aren't moving at all. And then we get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. Oh, it's telling us about the encounter. There's an encounter over there. So here, we'll look at the map real quick. So we started Where did we start? We started down there by the water. So if I look at that. So we started down there by the water, I guess. And then we've started the circle by coming up here. And then we're going to grab, there's the banner that we're going to want to get after we take care of these goats. And then there's the encounter over there. That won't be the frog. The frog is, the terrorizing toad is the next one along, which will be after we go this way, this way, this way. It'll be over that way. Okay, we'll come back to that. So, here we go. See, still haven't moved. Now the bees are moving. Okay, now we are going to engage goats, although they still haven't seen us. Well, sweet. I'm going to camouflage. See how many I can get. Well, I can get the attention of a bunch of them. Thankfully, I have a minstrel who makes much more noise than me. A minstrel with me in this fellowship. And that goat was totally not paying attention to us. That is really funny. Oh, yay, we're kiting the goat. Awesome. So now the bees are going to do some circles and pollinate the flowers there. And then they're just going to wait for us by the banner. So we have migrated and we're over here now. Okay. So, well, before we touch the banner, I'm going to grab some flowers. And we're going to go grab that encounter. So you notice there's the dot. This one is the Hateful Hornet. So this instance is cute. The critters, the encounters, are all alliterative. Yeah, we'll just go straight to that. So we've got the Hateful Hornet and the Terrorizing Toad and the Worrying Wasp, or Worrisome Wasp, something like that. And then there's Rock. Just Rock. Not the rock, not a rock, just Rock. It's funny. Oh, are there flowers over there? Oh, there's flowers over there. Oh, look at you. Over by the water. Nice. So I suppose if you get lost in this instance and you really just need to start over, go back to the water. Oh, yeah, I got damaged. I suppose we are running this at 125. Alright, let's see. Anything in the chat happening that I need to talk about? Talking more about painting. That's awesome. I wish this instant had markers or something to direct you. I can understand that. I've heard a lot of people getting really lost in here. I've gotten myself lost in here, but I've been running it enough that I'm starting to get a sense. But if you just plop me down in the middle of somewhere in here, I would not know where to go. If I run across bees, that helps. If I run across goats, that helps, sort of. Oh, see now, the goats this time, they are engaging with bees. We got close enough that they noticed somebody. Hi. They also are really good for stunning, but I've noticed they haven't stunned me yet this time. But, oh, there we go. Ta-da! Just had to wait. Yeah, so that's one thing. If you are doing this instance and you're doing it at a a level where you could get damaged, is to watch out for that stunning effect, because they can stun you and then they just keep hitting you really hard, and that can be a problem. Although we are stunning now. Sweet. All right, any more flowers? Yes. I see a flower. Gotta collect the flowers. So there's a banner, but I think, is that where we're headed? I don't know. That's not where we're headed. Where'd the bees go? See, we lost the bees. But I see some goats. So we can't be too far off. Oh, there's a flower though. Oh, I'm gonna activate these goats, aren't I? Yep. Well. Alright. Hi, goats. Oh, wait. Oh, the bees are there. Hey, that's convenient. That was improper timing on that. Yes, yes, yes. I see you in your goat ways. Alright, let's try that again. No, I want to hit all of you at the same time. Come back here. I don't have a lot of AoEs. Let me use them on you. Alright, almost got him. Oh, remember he stunned me. Aha! I think my minstrel came back. You got lost. It's so easy to get lost in here. There's no path. There's no markers. There's trees and pretty things everywhere, and it all looks the same. But I found some more goats. So you know we're in the right area. All right. I guess I will shoot some goats. You want to gather them up? Go ahead and yell at them and gather them up. Nice. Oh, and of course I target the one that's not in the group. I'm not great at targeting things. It's still something I'm working on. I have managed to get the giant shrew a couple times though, so I am making progress on targeting and hitting something on purpose. So, just if you're, keeping track there at home. Tempted to put a trap down and just stop them. All right, there we go. Hi, giant shrew. So, all right, so this is the second glade. Oh, and there's another flower. I don't want that. I want the flower. There we go. So just over this ridge is where you're gonna find the. So we're here now. So we kind of know we were like wandering around over here, and now we're here. So the hopefully toad. Oh, it is. If you see 3 dots, you know it's the toad, because it's him and his 2 friends. That's the last one I need. Oh wait, did we need to do this at level? Oh, I hope not. All right, here we go. So he's got 2 little bog toads with him, so that's how you know it's the toad if you see 3 things. Everything else is single. Yay! I got the pesky critters. That did give me, oh, sorry. Hey, little toad. Okay, I'll close that. All right. So, deed completed. Pesky critters. I got 6 spring leaves and the title Honey Lover. Finally. I've seen a lot of people wearing that, and I was starting to kind of get a little sad that I didn't have it yet. So, I think I'm going to lose Dances with Tentacles for now, and we're going to put Honey Lover on there. I think we're going to have to do that. Yay! Thank you, honey. Thank you in the chat. Oh, and there's Dragon. I'm on fire. All right. So, let's see. Do I have any more flowers to get? Did I get all my 20? I wasn't actually paying attention. It doesn't show up as a quest on the side where you can see how many you've had. So you have to kind of go like to your general tab or wherever you've got it. So, yeah, I do see it. All right. So we're back to the banner, which is here. And, oh, I'm so excited that we got the toad. You guys got to see it having the toad. Yay! Very happy. Hello, bee. So funny thing is, whichever bee you click on, it stays behind. Like, for a moment, it pauses, and then it catches up to his friends. So if you're trying to follow the bees, which I do a lot of times so I don't get lost, yeah, it's like you can choose the slow one, or you can click on one, say yes, and then click on another one real quick and follow that one. No, it doesn't make sense. Alright, anything happening in chat? If you have any questions about anything or something you'd like me to show you or address, or any questions you have for me, like, you know, about why do I play like I do, or how long have I been playing, or anything like that, feel free to drop that in the chat. I'm checking from time to time, and I will try to answer any questions that come up. Let's see. Okay, so remember how I was saying that you come back and you make a big circle? So we started over there in those reeds that you can see back there, and we went up that slope over here, and when did all our loop, and now we're coming back here, and so this is where they then generate and come down this slope. Okay, let me zoom over here so I can kind of get a look at that. That's just pretty. That's just like a painting right there. I mean, you know, aside from the wild goats attacking, but if they weren't attacking, it'd be pretty. All right, so what we've got going on right here is we've got these two great lilies that the bees are just doing circles and pollinating. So what's really funny is I've come in and I've like was running another character through, and so I just put them on follow the bees, and so they got to this part and they're just going in a circle around the great lily with the bee. So that was fun. All right, so a question is, which line do you like most on your hunter? I have just fallen in love with red line recently. Well, I shouldn't say recently. That's what I've been playing a lot recently. I started playing blue line a lot more because I really like the mobility of it, which is good because, you know, if you're trying to kite something or get it to follow you, but you still want to be doing damage to it, you know, that is really awesome. But I've discovered that especially when I'm running around with my my minstrel sweetie here, that I stand still a lot and he does the running around, and I stand still. So I don't mind giving up the mobility for the additional damage. And I've got my legendaries now kitted out for Redline, and the way I play Redline, because, you know, you favor things, right? I mean, I think everybody does that. You have things that you like more than you like other things. There's skills that I have that I hardly ever use, or I forget to use them. So I spent a lot of time doing these three: the barbed arrow, the improved swift bow, and the improved quick shot, because I like to generate the focus, so that way I can use rain of arrows. I love rain of arrows. I would just use that every second if I could. And I have a legendary, you know, option, whatever those things are called, to make it go. So if I do critical hits with it or defeat things with it, then it spawns faster. So I like that. And I really like Heartseeker. And so I've been learning about the whole thing where you do camouflage, because that gives you increased ranged critical chance. And then you do burn hot, because that gives you even more ranged damage. And then you do improved focus, because that gives you, again, more critical chance and critical multiplier, because I am using bows stuff. And then I'll do like a Heartseeker, and so it just boom, 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 you know, and so I like that. You say red is indeed a powerful line. Yeah, and the more I play with it, the better I get at it, I hope. I do forget to use, is it penetrating shot? There's the one, oh no, it's this one, merciful shot, where if they're below 70% health, it's a really strong shot, and I forget to do that one, so I'm trying to remember to use that one more often. And also there's times when I want to use my stuff and I don't have the focus, and I'm trying to remember that I can get it out of that intent concentration. So yeah, I'm slowly getting better, you know, but then you get into your routine and then you forget to do stuff, so, you know, it goes like that. Oh, thank you. There's although thank you in the chat. Good to see you. Oh, we have critical dialogue here. Buzz, buzz. All All right, it would seem the bees' work here is done. So now we're gonna travel back. So yay, I got the title. Here we go, Honey Lover. Honey Lover. And our kid name is Bear, so that is perfect. All right, so wow, we have almost gone through an hour already. Time flies. Okay, so remember we took those 3 quests. So one of them is our daily, which will give us the floral basket, which is where we get those festivity tokens. So that is going to Small Fellowship. This is going to give us the lock for the Small Fellowship. So we could run it again as solos, and we could run it again as a large fellowship, and you would have that basket again for 5 festivity tokens each time. But if we ran it again as a small fellowship, there's no festivity tokens out of that. All right, each of the dogs has something different to say, so if you speak dog, this will make sense to you. We've got a woof and a yip and a ruff and a woof. So now we're going to get 6 spring leaves. 6, sir. And for completing that, that was our beautiful bouquet optional. And the bees are back, so Grimbjorn is happy. And he asks the bees if they had a good time, and of course they say yes. And we travel now. And there we go. Awesome. So I wanted to show you the instances that are part of this festival, because those are new for this festival. They're brand new. And so it's been a lot of fun, kind of going in there and learning them. And I'm curious to see if they do any changes to Bees Big Business for next year. If they put any visual cues to help you figure out where you're supposed to go, or maybe put more walls in, or if it's just like, meh, they figure you'll figure it out. I don't know. It's hard to say. All right, so I think I'm going to switch over to, we're going to go over to Laurelyn, and we're going to get ready to do some Hobnanigans in about half an hour. So let me go ahead and prep that. Oh, is there anything else I need to do here? Oh, and now she dropped the dress. I have it. Do you have it already? Oops, wrong one. I meant to open my wardrobe. We did look, right? We looked and I saw that I have the dress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have the dress. We'll just double check this right here. Anyway, I'm going to give it to you because it's fellowship tradable for the next half hour. Oops. So we go back and forth. It's so funny. I did not even notice. We must have got that on tier 3. What? Why are you giving me that? Indeed. Golly, thanks. Oh, so right before I switch over, I'm going to take you all to my mead hall real quick. And thanks for the dragon. My currency's capped again. Yeah, we'll deal with that later. And I'll show you the giant lily, what it looks like in the yard, because it does look pretty cool. And then we're gonna go get into some hobbit shenanigans, because that's the kind of people we are. So here's our mead hall. So if you're ever on Evernight, you're welcome to come and take a look. What neighborhood? Oh, Bearlaw. We're in Rarelaw, which is the closest we could get to Bear. Bearlaw, Bearclaw. Rawr. So I think at some point I'm going to take these banners down. I collected them when we went through Rohan the first time, and I thought it was really cool. But man, they just pile up, and they're not really quite the theme. Although that's kind of cute. This looks like a bear on top to me. I know it's a horse, but it looks like a bear. But anyway, we may take down the pennants at some point to put out other things. We of course have the beehives, because what bear house doesn't have beehives? So good to have those. Oh, here we go. Here's the great lily. You see it's kind of got pollen radiating from it. Sorry, I have my nose itches. Excuse me. So that's really cute. I think I put the little one, yeah. So here's the difference. Wow, that thing is teeny, tiny, tiny, teeny. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is insane. It's so little. It's cute. it was too small for me. It doesn't have kind of that oomph that I'm looking for in a yard item, especially in a large yard like this. Like, I want stuff that's really gonna draw you in, you know? Oh yeah, check that out. We got one of those. We got the boat. It's so cool. Anyway, sorry, distracted. That is not a spring festival item though. Well, not what I wanted to show you. Look at fireflies. Do I have any yard items available right now? Oh no, the tree is in that one. We may have to come back to this later because I think all my yard items might be full. Yeah, we'll go take a look at the Gammer set here in just a second. Because, here on Evernight, before I switch over. I know, I get so distracted. Squirrel. Okay. Yeah, but we got Bjorn's table. So it seemed to me like I made it very... Ooh, this would be a good place for the lily. Because it would go well with these flowers. Alright, I'm gonna have to come back and see if I got any yard. I have to get rid of the potted blue haw fingers. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna do that right now. Because then we can hopefully get the lily across. Oh no, I can't get it over there. Bother. Okay, well, it'll just live there then. Okay, that'll work for now. We'll rearrange things to get them closer together next time, though. Maybe you know, I can put the fire. Well, you don't want the fire in your shrubbery like that. That's dangerous. Maybe I can move this in, move that over. This is just such a good place for this. See, decorating's hard. All right. Oh, but the wicker chair could come over here. That kind of blends in. All right, we'll do that later. I won't take up y'all's time with watching me decorate my my yard necessarily. I want to show you the Gammer furniture. We did put some of that at the kinship house. My minstrel sweetie was able to pick up a bunch of it because he also got maxed out on tokens, and we're like, what are we gonna buy? So yeah, we will show off the complete Gammer furniture set on our night. Now this is the complete furniture set for festivity tokens. It does not include the items you can also buy for spring leaves. That there's more than on the spring leaves. Okay, so we're gonna pop in here. And go past the main room, which we've decorated with some nice, tasteful decorations. Thank you. And there we go. Actually, let me take the names off. Look at this cute little sitting area that we created. I'm very pleased. I think it's really adorable. All right, so of course you gotta have your pig sitting by the fire. Don't worry, he doesn't catch on fire. He's good. He knows when to roll over. And let's see, we've got, so this is the hall bench. This is the footstool. That's her best large footstool. We also have her small footstool, her best small footstool. You got your trinket stand over there, her best armchair. That's the bench for tall people, for tall visitors, and that's her best couch. That's her tea table. And then we've got her hall table there. We had it in the hall, but I like it out here. You can see it a little bit better. So if you were looking to, you know, pick up any of that furniture, whoops, now you can kind of get an idea of what that might look like. So the trinket table is pretty cute. It's actually something I want in my house. I'm not sure if I want it in my fake house, but it's awfully cute for your faux house. I love the tall visitor's couch. It's pretty funny. Okay, so there you go. So now you get the chance to see the furniture. All right, and then 2 more things, and then we'll switch over. And we'll go look at some cosmetics maybe. Oh, I got the Dragox fireplace. That's one thing I want to show you. So when you touch it, the little dragon, this is so cute. Here, we'll do that again. He's got to have his hoard of gold. That is just adorable. I love the little guy there. finally became kindred with the In League, first time. So I got the decorative keg, and I think, oh, and I went ahead and bought the cloak. We're gonna try and do the Ale Association, either this festival or maybe starting next festival. And so I'll get to try out that. But here, you gotta check out my house. There's a theme. So there we go. And I love how it looks like they're like crawling over on their way to the kin house. we have an amusing sense of humor sometimes. So there you go. All right, the chair is. I'm gonna go do that real quick. So over in the chat, you say, well, we're back on the red line. That's the rotation for doing the hunter thing. Yeah, it's slowly like sinking in to do that every time. I know there's a similar sort of thing you can do for burglar, and I'm so close, and then I lose it. I just completely lose it. So, oh, did we get the bug? I'll just wait a second. Maybe it'll show up, because other stuff showed up. Let me walk out and walk back in. So I feel like this is weird. But anyway, so yeah, burglar. Just not getting it. Really struggling with the burglar thing. So I've decided that I'm just gonna not play my burglar for a while. Not as a burglar. Like, she just does social stuff. You know what? That's louder than I had intended. Hold on just a minute. It's cool music. We're gonna... Thanks. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna swap out the chair and the lily. So I don't know if there's a faster way to do this. So I drag into my inventory, and then I know you can do this. You can like right click it and it swaps it. I mean, so that's cool. I don't know if there's a faster way to remove something. So if you know a faster way, let me know for sure. See, and then we're gonna just throw this chair over here. It looks like it belongs in the foliage. Maybe bring it forward a little bit. The other forward. There we go. That's not gonna allow me to put it there. Okay, what's it not like? Is it too far from the center? Yeah, all right. We'll go back to the middle. There you go. Something about the Rohan hooks, if it gets pulled away from the house, it doesn't like that. It's kind of, I don't know. It's one of those things I hope someday they will be able to make the code work. All right, so we've stuck that in there, and now we're gonna drag that. See, if I drag it closer to the house, it seems to not have a problem with that. Oh, that's as far as it can go? Really? Let's just start. All right, maybe I'll bring the table a smidge. Oh, sorry. Questions over in the chitty chat. So let's see. You love your tiny little Dragoctu. I know it is like, I was over the moon when I got that. I keep getting tempted to actually buy a bigger house for the decorations. I mean, I'm going to tell you, yes, you should absolutely do that. More house is better house. More hooks, always more hooks. Am I a standing stone developer? I am not. Oh, and Eldaleth also responded to that. So, yes, myself and most of the other streamers on here are just fans of the game. And we have things that we enjoy about the game that we like to share with others. And so they let us use their Twitch stream to do that. But no, just a fan of the game, just enjoy playing it. Yeah. Let's see what else. But thanks for being here though. Yeah, so the people who stream Cordovan, he streams on Fridays at noon Eastern time. He won't be streaming tomorrow. He's got spring break off with his son. So he's going to be doing kid time, kid dad time, instead of, he's taking the day off. So good for him. So that's important stuff. And then Scenario has streamed twice and is looking at doing a third time. So there's a poll currently up on that. And those two are Standing Stone Games employees. The rest of us are just fans, volunteers. Moobot thought I was French girl gaming. Mais non, je ne suis pas le femme français. It's been a while since I took French. Ik ben Nikki. Ik ben Little Redhead. That is me. I am Little Redhead. So thank you, Moobot, for catching up there. All right, now we're going to switch over because otherwise I will be here and distracted forever. And we will never get over to Hobmanigans. And we'll never get to see all the cool cosmetics I wanted to look at. So, like I said, today is Thursday, so I've been told. And the last full day of the festival is... Oh, I should be logging in. Let me work on that while we're chatting. Is Monday. And so... there we go. So yeah, so this is the last couple days you've got to get festival leaves and, and catch up on getting everything that you want to get for the festival, for this year's festival. So I wanted to kind of take a quick look there with y'all, and we can take a good look at what is available in the festival cosmetics. And so there are some things that each individual character needs to get. So for example, like the mounts. Right? Each individual character gets their own mount. You can't share those. So I've got those, and there's some cosmetic pets that one of my characters has all of them because I grinded the festival with her last year. So then there's also some housing items. There's some music. There's some other housing items. There's the maps, which the maps are cool. I'm going to come in with Adamantia. Hello, Adamantia. And there's dyes. Oh, I haven't bought the dyes yet. I need to do that. But one of the cutest things, aside from all of the honey stuff this year, is they've got what they call the Merry Fellow stuff. So there's the jacket of the Merry Fellow, the hat of the Merry Fellow, and the boots of the Merry Fellow, which apparently Merry Fellow is a euphemism for Tom Bombadil. It's the Tom Bombadil set, and it's so great because now you look all around and there's Tom Bombadils like running all over the place now. It's delightful. And then there's also the Spring Maid dress, which is Goldberry's dress. Okay, so let me swoop that out of the way. Hobnanigans is here. What? So, so we'll do this. We'll have a look at this. So when you first log in, when a Hobnanigans event is happening, first thing you'll get this pop-up quest, and it'll say Hobnanigans is here. This is Hobnanigans is a treasured pastime of the hobbits from the Shire. They have brought the unique game to the festival grounds north of Bree. What could possibly go wrong when you give a dozen adventurers sticks and put a chicken in the middle? So you complete this objective and you get a map to the Hobnanigans field. I will accept that. All right, and let's finish that. Visit the Hobnanigans field and attempt to put a chicken through a goal by hitting it with a stick. So we finished that, and now we have a map in our inventory. We actually have two, because apparently I have the one from last time still sitting in my inventory. That's funny. All right, let's see what else. Let's see, in the chat, we've got the Lotro stream schedule. Awesome. We've got festival information. We've got Fibro Jedi's link to his Spring Festival guide, which is awesome. The D'Enco de Milieu housing rewards. What they do is they're a website that is just about the housing stuff. And whenever a new festival comes up, they they buy all the housing stuff and they put pictures up on their website, and so you can see everything. It's so good. All right, so yes, so those are some great resources. If you are still trying to figure out how to do something in the festival, or you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder what that looks like, and you don't have, somebody's kin house you can just wander into and take a look at. You can go to the D&Co Demille website, and they have a lot of really good stuff there. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice this fair lady here is wearing the outfit that's the arms, which I think comes off as it goes into the glove spot, cosmetic spot, and the dress of the Red Maid. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I suppose while we're standing here looking at Tom, let's take a look. Dun, dun, dun. And then in about 10 minutes, we're going to go hobnanniganing. I'm not sure what the verb is for that. We'll make it up. Okay, so we're going to look. So this is the jacket of the Merry Fellow that I mentioned. So there's our Tom Bombadil jacket. And it automatically does the rest of it. So you've got the black pants. You've got this burgundy jacket or vest inside, and the white linen looking shirt. And then he has a hat. So there's his hat. Oh, and the boots. Okay, the boots do show up on me because I'm a hobbit. I usually have boots turned off, shoes turned off. But there you go. So there's like a little mini Tom Bombadil. Very cute. So now if you want to see what the Spring Maid dress looks like, so there's the short sleeve version with little puffy sleeves, and you'll see she's got the little sunflower, or the sun on the side, and the Red Maid also had I believe the same dress, but very similar styles of dress. So this dress you can get in the long sleeve and the sleeveless. I think we looked at these a couple weeks ago. Now, if you're not sure which one you want, or you want to get something and then just sell it to other people later, you can get it gift wrapped. And so the Merry Fellow and Spring Maid Garments gift wrapped selection box. So you buy one of those, it costs $15, which is the same as the cost for all those others. And when you open it, it gives you an option menu, and you pick the one that you want. So that's kind of a cool way if you want to make sure you get it for somebody else. Like maybe you're getting a bunch of festival leaves, and your friend doesn't do festival, but they really want this thing. Well, that's how you can buy it. Because otherwise, these are bound to your account and the items inside the box are the same. So once you open the box, the item inside is bound to your account, but you can give the box away before you open it. So at least you've got that. Okay. Steed-wise, this festival, the new steed is the steed of the Forest Spring, which you've probably seen some people running around on. But here, let me pull it up. My steeds have Forest Spring. So it looks like that with the vines kind of hanging off. Let me go ahead and get on that real quick. There's a peacock. Let me see if I can zoom out. Nope, can't really zoom out very well. There we go. So then you can kind of see, well, I got stuff all over the place now. There you go. That's the new steed for this year with all the vines hanging down. So what I've noticed is the pattern that they do is they'll have like a new steed that you can get for the festival tokens and last year's steed that you can get for festival tokens. But when the new steed comes in next year, the steed of the Forest Spring will be the old one. It'll be available still for festival tokens, but the one that's the old one this year will slide off. So let's go to steeds actually, so I can just show you more quickly. So the steed of the Forest Spring and the Elk of the Spring Wood. Elk of the Spring Wood was available last year. So after this year's festival is done, when the next spring festival comes up next year, the Elk of the Spring Wood you can buy at Hank Stacer's farm for Mithril coins. You might be able to do it here too. But anyway, that'll be available for Mithril coins, but not for festival tokens anymore. The Steed of the Forest Spring will still be available for festival tokens. So 2 years, and then it moves off. So if you want to get the Elk of the Spring Wood, and you only have enough for either one or the other, this is your last chance to get the Elk of the Spring Wood, is what I'm trying to say. So, and then they've got the War Steed versions of this outfit. I don't feel the need to get this one for the War Steed. Oh yeah, so there's your Spring Festival steeds, but for Mithril coins. So these are all the ones they've had in the past, but you can now buy them for Mithril. So, you know, if you've got Lotro points, you can buy Mithril coins, and then you can use those to buy these, which is not a bad deal, but, you know, it's if you want it. I try to get things for the festival tokens because I find that easier to get than Mithril coins. Okay, so this is the new stuff, right? So we looked at the Merry Fallow. We looked at the Spring Maid. Oh, I want to get off my mount. And we looked at the steeds. And then these are the other housing items that you can get, but these are for the festival, for the spring leaves. So there's a elegant green burning sconce, which I haven't tried yet, and I'm curious if it is interactable, because some of these things recently have been. So I think I may have to pick up a couple of sconces, and even if they're not, you know, just kind of have them, so just in case they are next time. So let's see, this is under fresh rewards. And I'm not sure if I marked the sconce. I've been trying to mark the things that I don't want to make sure that I pick up. Oh, the shrew house is out here somewhere. Anyway, it's okay. We'll come back to that. There's a bed, there's the coffee table, and the tall trinket stand. So not her best furniture, but apparently, you know, also good furniture. Gamera's been busy. And then cosmetics part 1 includes the new stuff plus some of the stuff from last year. So the braided dress of the Spring Woods. I know I saw that one around before. And the braided tunic and trousers. I have this on Landroval, and let's see, I put it into, nope, that's too bright. There was a color that I picked for it that I was really surprised. It turned out really, it had kind of a pale color to it, and it looked really nice. I thought it was a good choice. Oh, these are all really bright colors. That was not what I was looking for. Was it Bull Roarers? I don't think it was Bull Roarers green. I think it was something else, but that one's nice. But I just thought it was a good festival. Yeah, there we go. Like the Lorien Gold is nice. It looks like something you might find on, like, you know, a dyed Easter egg. No, it was the Belaguer blue. There we go. So it just, that has just such a nice subtleness to it. I think it reminds me of an Easter egg. So I thought that was a good color for the festival. Okay, so that's the braided tunic and trousers. The mantle of the Spring Woods. Oh, the shoulders. Wow, those are big. I mean, for my hobbit, she's little, you know. Let's see. We have the cloak of the Mountain Meadow. Hooded cloak. Yeah, that's cute. Looks like needlepoint, right? Doesn't look like somebody went and did that themselves. And then we've got the fiddles. I gotta get the Lonely Mountain Fiddle and the Sprightly Fiddle. Gonna have to grab those because I don't have those yet. So that's cosmetics part 1. Let's go part 2. So part 2, so these are gonna be older things that were here like from previous festivals. Actually, let me reset this. Let me start over. I think this is really cute. I was looking at this. It looks like something you might see at Christmas time though, with the red and the green going on there. And we've got the long, now this one, check that out. Like, that is some really bright colors going on at the bottom. Offset by that white. I thought that's a nice contrast. And then the sleeveless version. And again, it's different, which really surprises me because remember when we were looking at the Spring Maid, they all look the same. And yet these 3, even though they're all Mountain Meadow, all have a different coloring to them. So that's different. That's unusual. Oh, and then that one, the 4th one. Check this out. Check that hat out. Isn't that a kick? You see people wearing that sometimes. I think, isn't that just something? I may have to get it. Let's see, the spring dress. Let me zoom back out. Oh, no, that's not out. That's out. There we go. That one's all right. I might have to see if other colors. But this was, the Last Gallon Spring Tunic and Trousers. That was like the first outfit that I had for my minstrel, which was the highest level character I had until the one we just were playing with earlier. And she, man, I just love that outfit on her. It was like one of my favorite outfits for a long, long time. So I have a lot of nostalgia for that outfit. Someone's just popped into the chat. Hello, welcome. So we're taking a look around the Spring Festival, and we're about to head off to Hobnanigans here in just a few minutes. Oh, these boots are nice. I do like those boots. That's just a good outfit. The spring pack, I think I've mentioned this last time, but it's special because if you have it says right there, if you have it equipped as gear, it has butterflies that will show. So not cosmetically, but if you have it actually put in as your gear item, so as your equipment item. So you'd want to do this when you're maybe not out, adventuring. But yeah, if you have it on as gear, you'll get little butterflies, which is great. And I've seen people who have it on and then have it so that you can't see it, have it hidden. And, oops, sorry, let me drop that. And then, yeah, it just looks like there's butterflies around them, but you can't, they're not coming from anything. It's clever, very clever. All right, so we've got the Cloak of the Moth. Okay, and a hooded Cloak of the Moth. We've got the short sleeve dress of the moth. Wow. Oh, that's clever. As long as you don't think it's actually a real one eating through your stuff. And then the sleeveless version. All right, this pair you'll see running around. Like, what? That's a very popular one. Oh, with the hat. Oh, but you can't see it. Let me reset. Hat. There we go. Looks like you're going out to work in the garden with my gloves, doesn't it? Let's look at the trellis. Ooh, I bet that dyes up nicely. Yeah. And the robe that matches. Oh, I've seen this one. I've seen that robe. That's a nice one. All right, that's part 2. Part 3. All right, we're going to run off. Oh, a quiver. I do like getting the circlets because I like having some options to play around with that leaves the hair showing. So that's why I tend to get the hoodless cloaks too. Another cloak. Lots of cloaks. Oh my goodness, what is that? I don't think that's I don't think that suits me. All right, what else do we have here? Got a little hauberk. A couple hauberk options. This spring hat is one of my favorites. It looks like it's made out of silk. It also takes dye in a lot of nice ways, and I think it's really lovely. The cloak, that's the cloak that goes with it, and then that's the dress that goes with it. All right, so we got to run over to Hobnanigans here like in 2 minutes. So we'll be heading out here soon. Now there's the tunic and trousers that go with it too. It's hard to say though. There's another dress that I got that goes really well with it at another festival. I can't remember which one. All right, hooded cloak with a new bloom. I could see. Yeah, this one. This new bloom outfit. It's got a lot of really good colors already put into it. So a lot of people buy that and just wear it. I think it's a good look. That was also one of my early outfits. I think I've got that cloak. That one looks really familiar. There's the robe that matches it. There's the dress that matches it. All right, what else we got? There's recipes, there's maps. So if you're collecting the maps, you'll want to make sure you do that. When you, there's like 4 of them available at various festivals. And once you've accumulated all of them, all you have to do is just, have it in your inventory for a moment and then you can pass it on. They're not bound. But there's a deed that completes. So like a cartographile of Eriador. And then there's a Moria version as well. So you get Cartographer of Moria. Pardon me. So make sure you keep an eye out for those. These sculptures are fun. So there's like the dwarf, the elf, the hobbit, like hedge, like as if they've been crafted out of greenery. Those are fun. Those are a lot of fun. The Spring Festival theme, if you're a sucker for the music in your house, that's a nice one. Although I think the Tom Bombadil is my favorite. Clover table and the clover stool are really cute together. I've got a couple of those at one of my houses. And the hanging ivy, yeah, both of the hanging pots of ivy, those are nice. The tiered one is like a thin furniture item, I think. I like the hanging ones because I'm sometimes don't know what to do with my ceiling hooks, and so that comes out really nice. But the Shrew Mouse House, that is a must purchase. I think everybody has to have one of those. If you, it's kind of round and it looks a little bit like the Elven housing, and when you click on it, a little shrew mouse comes out, wanders around. So cute. Okay, and then dies. So same thing as before, previous festivals where you've got 2 dies that are available for this year's leaves and 2 dies that are available for mithril coins. And then those will swap next year. So you want to buy enough to get you through basically this year and next year. And then, you know, you just do the same thing again. Whole bunch of pets. And then the boxes that you can buy so you can give them away. Okay, so we are going to run over. Oh, you see another bomb? There was a Tom Bombadil there. So from the festival grounds, if you go south, you'll get to the Hobnanigans fields. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to pause and get a drink here. Sweet. Wow. Look at all these people here. Excellent. Let me switch over to my emoting. And I need to do something real quick. We are going to switch off the chat bubbles because you all might just get overwhelmed by that. Wait, is that the right place? Bubbles. UI settings. Okay, so that's how you can switch the chat bubbles so you can see when people are talking over their heads or not. And I'm just going to be keeping an eye on this in my chat here, hopefully. Okay, so I will go ahead and start leading the explanation here. So I went ahead and so here's what's going on is I and my friend Affadil over here are teaching people how to play Hobnanigans. So I have typed up the instructions and we're going to try and do both me telling the people in the game what's going on as well as telling you on the stream what's going on. So wish us luck. Here we go. Okay. So I'm telling everybody that I'm really glad they're all here to play some Hobnanigans, and we're very excited to teach everybody how to play this silly game. So we're going to tell everybody some of the basics of how to play this game. So at Hobnanigans, there are 4 different fields, and 2 of the fields are for 6 players, so 3 on each side. And then 2 of the fields are the large ones, and those are 12 people, so 6 on each side. So now there are 2 teams. There's the red ones, which are the flying feathers, and then there's the blue ones, which are the steel beaks. So the small fields, they have 3 people per side. The large fields have 6 people per side. So then there's sticks on the field for each team. And you go off to the captains that are standing on the sidelines, and that's how you to pick to join a side. And somebody mentions that there's no team yellow. That is true. There is no team yellow. So there's a captain over there, and there's a captain hiding over there. So then, you go talk to the captain, pick up the quest basically, run onto the field and pick up a stick. So, and then because there's invisible walls in various places, sometimes it looks like you should walk right through a spot, but it'll have an invisible wall, so you have to kind of jump over. But that's not a big deal. All right, and so then after all the sticks on a field have been picked up, then the game will begin. You'll have 1, 2, or 3 chickens will show up on the field. So like in this one, it might be 1 here, 1 over here, 1 over here. The game itself is going to last for 10 minutes. Excuse me, let me grab a drink real quick. Lots of running. So you start with one ability to push the chickens around, and then eventually you'll get a second ability, and then you get a third ability in that 10 minutes. So like at 10 minutes, or 4 minutes in, 8 minutes in, something like that. So then at the end, the team with the most points, is the winner. And when you play Hobnanigans, you'll get 5 Hobnanigans tokens for playing. And then if you're on the winning side, you get an additional 10. So you can end up with 15 tokens for playing a game of Hobnanigans. And then part of my headcanon is that you're not hurting the chickens when you're playing. It's like with the shrew stomping. We say your equipment is special, and so it doesn't hurt the chickens at all. So, yeah. I turned, somebody was asking about my chat bubbles. I went ahead and turned them off. So that way the folks who are here in the field with me don't feel like they have to also be performing for those of you who are watching the stream. I overbooked myself, so I apologize. I scheduled this before I joined the stream team. So I thought, well, we can do both, right? So. Oops. All right. So we're going to play a game of Hobnanigans, or at least we're going to get a team started, get a group started on this side. So all the blue sticks seem like they've already been picked up. So we need 5 people to go pick up red sticks. And let them know that. Oops, can't spill. Now I'm going to take the rest of us to another field. I still can't spill. It's going to kick the rest of us off anyway. So if the game starts, if we're not part of the teams playing, it's just automatically going to boot you off. See? So now you can see everybody's playing. Oh, we could cheer at them from here. So yeah, I mean, we could run around and play another game, or we could stay here and cheer for them. So you'll notice like there's the corn stalks in the middle. So those aren't always there. Sometimes they show up and sometimes they don't. They're kind of additional obstacles that are in the way. And as you try and kick the chicken through the goal, if there's more than one chicken on the field, the rest of them will just disappear and it just starts all over again. So now like, see, there's 2 chickens out there right now. So of those 2, one's going to go into a goal and the other one will disappear and then they start all over again. On these large fields, you've got 3 goal posts, and on the regular size field, it's only 2 on the smaller fields. So, oops. Okay, so let's see what's happening in the chat. Forte Maestro, who is coming back to the stream team, I believe, right? Says when they usually run the Hobnanigans Chicken League, it's a bit of fun. Double elimination monthly tournaments. Oh my goodness. That sounds complicated. Good luck. It'd be interesting to see how that goes. So now you'll notice there's an obstacle down at the end. So sometimes an obstacle will appear in one of the goalposts, so you can't kick the chicken out that way. You have to pick a different spot. See, but now it's gone because they scored. So it's kind of a random thing. But notice we can't get in. Whee! It's like I'm pushing in. You can't go in, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. It keeps other people from being able to interfere with the game. And that's a good thing. Cool. So did anybody in the chat have any questions about Hobnanigans or about the Spring Festival or anything happening there? If you do, let me know. Let's see, how many players do we have here right now that are not playing? I know these folks, and they are okay not to play, but this 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ah, somebody's asking, how do we enter the field? Yep, so once there's a game starting, people who aren't playing can't get on the field. So, seems to get started prematurely. Oh, we'll just keep playing. We can keep playing. So one of the things that you can do in Hobnanigans is if you're trying to play and there's like not enough people there, let me see if there's a field. Yeah. So for example, I could go over to that field and I could, you know, sign up to play and go in and grab one of the sticks and then just kind of hang around. And then after, and you'll have an effect on you that says, you are playing a game of Hobnanigans. And then after 5 minutes, that effect goes away. So what you can do is then after that effect goes away, you can run off the field. It's going to say you failed the game, but that's okay because you can pick up the quest again. So you go to one of the captains on one of the two sides and you pick up the quest and it'll say, go in and grab a stick. So you go in and grab a stick and now you have the effect again. So that's a way that I, if I'm like cooking dinner or whatever, I can just every 5 minutes, just come over, run out, come back in, grab another stick. And that way I can cycle through the field and be able to then eventually play a game. And I'll often, just play a game by myself or whatever. Or, grab my sweetie and be like, hey, can you just stand here and grab the stick every 5 minutes and grab another stick? And we do stuff like that. Yeah, so it's so you'll see that that's kind of already started on that field over there. It looks like 2 red sticks are left and one of the blue sticks is left. So, in fact, I'm tempted to go grab that blue stick and just leave the 2 reds. Now, I mean, some people do enjoy the game of playing against each other, and trying to score and stuff. I am perhaps a less competitive person, so it's not really my thing to go and I'm okay just playing with everybody on one side. That way everybody gets the bonus tokens. Everybody wins. I prefer that. I'm less of a competitive person, more of a sharing person. So I believe coming up, let's see, if I do Thursday, nope, it doesn't know. Do I have to do it with a capital T? I'm still learning Moobot and what it wants me to do. Tell me what to do, Moobot. Okay, Thursday no longer exists, so you're all off the hook. Enjoy. We'll see you on another day. Thursday streamers include myself and I know there's a way to pull it up. Where did you try and type it? Oh, I tried to type it in Chatty. Does Chatty not know me? Maybe that's it. The chicken did what? The chicken's out. The chickens are out of the maze. Oh, there's also people that you can buy stuff from along the side. So like the lady over there, she sells pets. The person down the hill, they sell, the chicken is out of bounds. What are you talking about? Where are you? Oh, on the other side of the, I'm getting reports that on the other side of the field there's a chicken. Okay, thank you, Eldaleth. All right, so today's, oh, I think I was doing slash. I was thinking in the game, so I was doing slash, not bang. Ah, ha, ha, there's a chicken. What? Is that the game chicken? Oh my goodness. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Okay. Oh my goodness. I've never seen this happen. It's mixed up itself with the chickens from the maze and it escaped. Oh, that is delightful. Well, there you go. That's not something you see every day. Wow. Oh, I thought it turned into a bear. Somebody put a bear on top of it. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Anyway, I was trying to tell you there are people that are not me that are also streaming today. So I believe Red Baron is coming up next. Well, I know Red Baron is coming up next. I just don't know if next means in 10 minutes or if next means an hour and 10 minutes. My understanding is he was right after me, but it is possible that he is an hour after me. So at any rate, he'll be on later. Eldaleth, who's doing a wonderful job in moderating and responding to my wacky questions, is taking care of stuff like that. And she is streaming later on today. And then Epic Uger is also on later today. So yes, be sure to follow these folks and check out the streams. If you miss any of the streams, they are on the Lotro Twitch stream. You can go back and look at previous streams. I also am putting mine on my YouTube channel and then on my website, Life Beyond the Shire. I am putting also links to those. So that way it's a little easier. At least you can find mine, and hopefully some of the other streamers will do similar things to make it easier for you to find them as well. Because yeah, I mean, hopefully you're enjoying the kinds of things that we're providing here. And feedback is always wonderful. Oh, now we're in between games, so let me come and tell people a few more things. So I want to tell everybody, like, there's one thing basically, is that people often have that question about how do you start a game if there's not enough players? And basically it's time, it's like I was explaining before. So as soon as you grab a stick, you're playing a game of Hobnanigans. You can see the effect under your portrait, and that lasts for 5 minutes. And then you talk to a captain, you grab a stick, and then one more stick is gone. So you just cycle your way through it. So yeah, so that's how you can work your way through it. Let me tell that down here. Well, I thought I'd come and do the explanation here. So, so you do that every 5 minutes until you take the last stick, and then, that. And if you leave the field, so some people you'll see in Hobnanigans, sometimes people will come running in and they'll grab a stick and then they'll take off. Well, it is true you can do that, but as soon as you leave the field, if all the sticks get taken and the game starts, you are not part of that game. You have left the field. So, you know, that's so I just stick around for the 5 minutes. I don't go running from field to field because it doesn't do you any good. So then, yeah, sometimes you'll get a chicken token, and you can trade those for various things. Like a chicken that you carry. There's like a couple different versions of that. I'll go show you in a second. Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to get off the field. And show you guys all the different various things that you can trade for. So like over here, she's the one that has the various pets. So if you end up with 150 Hobnanigans tokens, you can get a tome with the white chicken, which is the chicken that follows you around like, well, like this, but white. There's my red chicken. So it looks a bit like that red chicken. It should look exactly like that red chicken. See? So if you get, so to get the red chicken, for example, you could spend 225 Hobnanigans tokens, or if you got a red chicken token, you can just barter that straight up. So it just takes one of those. So, you know, it's neat when you get those drops where you get a chicken token, because that makes it a lot easier. So in the chat, reward for chicken abuse is to become a pet chicken. So no, like I said earlier, the chickens are not being abused. The equipment that we have, it's like the chickens look at it like it's a game, you know, and they find it very, very silly. And in fact, every time you knock them through the goalpost, you'll notice they come running right back around and jump back into the game. So you know that the chickens are okay with this. Like they're not being abused at all. That's the story I'm going with. I'm sticking to it. So yeah, so the different chicken tokens, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different chicken tokens that could get dropped during the game. A lot of these are really rare. Like you hardly ever see these, which is annoying. But that's okay, whatever. You can buy them with the Hobnanigans tokens. Although like if you wanted the orange Wyandotte chicken, it's gonna cost you 525 Hobnanigans tokens. So it's a long time to get there. But anyway, so she's got your pets. And then, let's see, over here. So every kind of corner, there's different barterers. Oh, Affadil, if you could let other folks know that I'm running around showing stuff on stream, if that's of interest. Well, I'll post it in somewhere else. I think there's some chickening happening across us over there. Okay, so over here you've got a fire pit, and this is a special festival fire pit. And you can get recipes, cooks can get recipes, and they cost you Hobnanigans tokens. And then I think, yeah, they're single-use recipes, and they provide you with some various things that give you various interesting benefits. So now those can only be made on this carnival campfire as well. But thankfully this fire is here all year round. So if you get one of those recipes and you want to give it to your favorite cook and you want them to make you those things, they can come to this carnival fire and make them for you. All right, let's see, over here, this quartermaster, she has the cosmetics, so things like silly masks, or if you want a cloak that looks like the one that you wear when you're playing on the field, you can have, here, let me reset that. There's the hat that looks like a half egg. You'll see that one sometimes. Cracked egg helm. Let's see what else we got. Oh, a quiver. That's clever. Hobnanigans club, if you want to make it look like you're running around holding the club. The nest hat. I have one of those. I have it with the white chicken. Yep. That one's fun. And then you could get a nest hat with each of the different types of chickens, those 6 different chickens. So that's kind of cute. And yeah, all nest hats. So I'll be back to get my more nest hats with her at some point. That's what I like. I like to get the hats. Over on this one is where you get some of these different emotes. So you can get the chicken drive emote, chicken chip, chicken putt, drink from the boot, and throw feathers. I have the boot and the feathers one, as you may have noticed. So when you, you know how you can do the what is it, the petals, the flower petals? Well, there's a version of that, but it's with chicken feathers. But it's only a single target. It's not multiple targets. Okay, I think we can cut through here. There's nobody playing right now. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I went too far. Hold on. Let me try that again. Okay, she has, what does she have? I don't buy stuff from her very often. Oh, if you just want to walk around like you're carrying a chicken. Or if you want a map to get back here. But, I mean, you could just take the festival horse to the festival grounds and go south. That's also an easy way to get here. So, yeah, I don't tend to pick up most of that stuff because the carrying chicken, I mean, I guess it's okay. Maybe I'll get one in the future. But it hasn't really been my jam. All right, so notice this cute little miniature version of a Hobbitanigans field with little orange chicken in there. You can buy those. You can also buy this streamer, and you can also buy some of these swag items, and that's from this guy here. So the standing banners, like, well, it looks kind of like that. Or looks kind of like that. Yeah. Or a banner for your wall. I actually got a couple for my walls. It looks really cute in a Hobbit house. The standing streamer, like that one back there. The Hobbit wagons that you see lying around. Yeah, like those guys. They have blue, yellow, green, etc. And then one that looks like it's kind of fallen apart. And then your lawn chickens, which is great. So it's a yard item. And it's just a chicken that wanders around. And then you can get the small fields. You can get large fields. You can't play in them. They're just for looking at. But they do have the small and the large. So those are pretty cool with all the different chickens. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I had a chance to show that to all of you all. We are getting close to the end of my time. And I want to make sure I give Red Baron time to get prepped and set up here. So next week, we'll just go ahead and review this real quick. Next week, which will be Thursday, April 8th, there are no festivals during that time. So what I want to do is I'm going to do, I have a character and she is currently a human, and I am going to take her through the race change process. We're going to buy a race change token on the stream, and we're going to look at all the things that she has that are existing before the race change, and then we're going to look at her post race change and see what the differences are. So that way, you know, it gives everybody a chance to kind of see what does that look like, and you know, help people get a little bit more comfortable with the process, because I know that's the sort of thing that I would look at and I'd be nervous about and wondering, well, what happens if I do it wrong, or what about this, what about that? And so that'll give us a chance to all together, you know, walk through that process together. So if you have any questions about race change, bring those definitely for next stream, and we'll make sure that we take a look at that before and after we do her race change. And then other thing I thought of might be fun is to look at our chat tabs, because I have my chat tabs done up in a whole bunch of different ways. So I thought it might be good to take a look at how the different ways to set up your chat tabs that might make make your game a little easier to deal with. So there we go. I think that pretty much takes care of everything that I wanted to show you guys this week. I hope everybody has had a good time. I hope you've enjoyed the Spring Festival. Remember, you've only got a few days left. You've got until Monday, the 6th is the last full day of the festival, and then the Spring Festival is over, unless they do an encore. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, so I'll be back next week with our race change. That's going to be fun and exciting, so don't miss out on that. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for joining me on my journey through Lord of the Rings Online. I really enjoy my time in Middle-earth, and I hope you found the stream enjoyable and informative. So wherever you go and whatever you do, I encourage you to stay connected to to the Hobbit side of your heart. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.